into the sky, nothing can stop me tonight.
Hey everybody, here we are again. We are back. We're still not pulled off the air. They're still allowing us to do this show. This is season 2, episode 13 of Let's Talk Phys Ed. Let's Talk Phys Ed is a show where we get to know and interview some of the most influential phys ed or health ed people around. And tonight is no exception. I am your host, Jason Steele. With me as always, Tanner Rose. Tanner.
Hey, hi everybody. Hey, we've got Bart here today. I'm so excited. We got another Iowan, go Iowa Aford. So I'm pumped. This is the first time we've had an Iowan on here. So
Which is amazing. I didn't realize that until like 5 seconds ago when you said it, that this you're our first Iowan. Bart Jones. I'm surrounded by Iowans right now. Who are you? What do you do? Where are you from? Who are you?
All right. Well, I am a 16-year veteran teacher. I am a father of 3. I've got a 5th grader son, Gabriel, a 3rd grader, Noah, and a kindergartner, Phoebe. So I'm definitely on my toes.
Yeah.
We got youth sports, basketball. We've got dance going on throughout the weeks, practices. I'm a husband to a wonderful wife who is a NICU nurse at Mercy in downtown Des Moines. She's also on the transport team, so she gets to transport and go visit and save babies all throughout the land if needed. I'm a 3rd generation teacher. Both parents, older sister are teachers. 3rd generation Iowa Stater, go Cyclones. Very proud of that. I grew up in a small town in northwest Iowa called Aurelia, a town of 1,000 people. Graduated with 30 people in my high school class. 90% of those are the same people from preschool all the way through 12th grade. We were a K-12 building, very close-knit community. Currently work at the Van Meter Elementary, also do some middle school here. We're also a K-12 school, also very small community, 1,000 people. We have roughly class sizes of about 60 we're at now. So I've been here for 14 years. Most recently been doing elementary, but now I've been doing some elementary and some middle school. So in my career, I've done the full gamut from kindergarten all the way through seniors. Just sprinkled in a little coaching in there, done some high school football, some junior high football, some high school basketball, junior high basketball, done some junior high track. So I've kind of done the gamut.
Just the jack of all trades, right?
that's
So
a lot of stuff.
busy guy, a lot of stuff. Which is why we're having you on. Very popular on the Twitter world, and been sharing your PE videos on YouTube for a few years now. I think you've got somewhere around like 900 followers or something like that, right?
Sure.
Let's Talk Phys Ed has 63, so that kind of shows you where you're at, which is kind of a big deal. I was pretty excited when we hit that 50 mark. So someday we'll get to that 900 mark if we're not pulled off the air yet. But how did you get into that? Like, is that something that you're obviously you're probably proud of? People watch it and see it and get inspired by it. So talk a little bit about your YouTube channel.
I guess my YouTube channel is just a way to share some of the things that I'm doing in the classroom. My hope is to inspire others. It's never a way to toot my own horn. I honestly had no idea how many followers I have on YouTube. Not something that I strive for, or I'm gonna throw myself a party if I hit 1,000. When you said 970, I have no idea how many I have. That's just not a focus. Not a focus of mine, and just a way to connect with parents, connect with other educators around the world, just to kind of open a window into my classroom. We're in our 4 walls. We're kind of in our silo at times. I've gotten so many great ideas from other YouTube channels. I thought, hey, I'd give it a try. My first YouTube video was a challenge that Kevin Tiller put out a few years ago. It was how many hits you could hit with a wiffle ball bat in a row. That was my first YouTube video I ever made. I'd never made one, had no idea how to do it, took a risk, made one, uploaded it, thought, hey, that was pretty easy. So I don't have to be all fancy like some of those YouTube videos out there. It's pretty cut and dry, usually from the classroom, very beneficial that I can show my students in action with a lot of videos. Whereas I know some of my colleagues can't, so they have to do more of them. So you usually don't see me in any of the videos, which is fine. You usually see my students, kind of doing the activities, and I narrate the directions and stuff like that. So it's just a way. So in going in full circle, in summary, it's just a way to get out there and just to share some things that I'm doing. And if somebody finds it useful and beneficial and they want to take it and inspires them, great. I mean, that's the goal that I'm trying to do, is just to be inspiring.
Awesome.
Do your parents, not your physical parents, but like your students' parents, do they check this out and see their kids and they're all excited and never talk to you about that type of stuff? Do they know about it, or is it mostly, do you think, other physical educators?
I think it's mostly physical educators. I also have a Facebook page that I connect, and I post basically a lot of the same videos to Facebook. So I use that a lot as a connector with parents, more so than the YouTube. I think the YouTube is more of kind of a professional avenue versus parents. Sometimes when I mention it in class, and my students are like, oh, I'm gonna go look for you on YouTube and see if I can find myself and stuff like that. And so I think it's more professional than parent wise. I use probably the Facebook page more for a parent focus.
Sure.
Right on. So one of my favorite things you do is you show a lot of your SOS Friday stuff. And I don't know how many people know exactly what that is, but I see you and Mark Youngman doing the SOS. And every time I see it, I'm just like, I want to do it and I want to know more about it. And I keep trying to like push you to like, hey, or you, Mark, or somebody to present at the state conference so I can see how it works. And like, I just really want to pick your brain. So this is my chance. Can you tell me about SOS Friday? What is it? And just everything you can tell me about it right now.
Well, my knowledge about it is basically what Mark presented on and Rick Schubach presented on way back in 2013 at the Iowa AFERD convention. It was at Storm Lake at BVU there. They both kind of did a presentation on it. And I think SOS stands for Saving Our Society, kind of hitting those non-traditional skills, 21st century skills, soft skills. At Van Meter, we kind of build those around our vision points, the communication, collaboration, problem solving, adaptation, those kind of things that will help you out throughout your entire life, regardless of what you learned in first grade or second grade. But if you can communicate and you can work together with other people, I think that's kind of the overall premise behind it. I think it was a brainchild of Rick Schubach, who was at Grundy Center before. So to get the real history behind it, you'd have to probably go through Mark and go through Rick, since Mark was a Fuller Scholar under Rick there through the UNI program. So I just kind of took from what I learned from them, from that presentation that one day, and I just kind of adapted it and try to make it fit my situation. In a nutshell, it's essentially four challenges that are each are timed, and they're usually kind of built around a theme. And each challenge it has a unique skill set within it. It might be a throwing challenge, or it might be a balance challenge, or it might be, I know Mark has the luxury of having a traverse wall in his gym, so he's able to use that, or a cargo net, or scooters, or some of your non-traditional kind of things in a new avenue where the students are working together and are encouraging each other. And they might get a little badge at the end if they accomplish a challenge in the X number of time allotted, and their goal is to try to achieve all 4 badges in the
Cool.
time.
Yeah, it sounds like something honestly I don't know much about either, and so something that I'd like to see some more information about, or get some more information about, because it's maybe not something that I would completely change my entire classroom around for, but I love implementing new things, just to keep students on their toes as well. So it sounds kind of like something that you could implement for little bits and pieces and here and there too. So that'd be cool. So now comes the part, like I've got kind of a special set of questions now here, and this has never happened before on our show, I don't think, where I know some questions that breaking news that even Tanner doesn't know. So these are kind of and what we're going to do here is, since I'm surrounded by Iowans here, I've got some Iowa trivia for the two of you, and so we're gonna let our viewers, we're gonna give them a couple seconds here to get a notepad and a pen, because they're gonna play along with us, and then if you have a notepad and a pen handy, do you two have one, or can you? No? Yes? No? Maybe?
I can.
We should have been prepared. We are so rusty. You guys this will give our viewers a little bit of time here, because you're going to hold up your answers so that we're not cheating.
I need a whiteboard, right? I wish I had
Need something. We got to be, yeah.
I guess I can use the back of my fake beard that I made.
There you go.
Do I need to show the viewers my beard?
Yes.
Yeah, I asked if I had to grow a beard because, the twins here are known for their beard, and I can't grow a beard very well, so I faked it.
All right.
Hey, I found some paper.
All right. You guys ready?
Sure.
I know our viewers are ready because there's only like 4 of them. I'm sure they were ready for it. Okay. So Iowa trivia here. Okay. Iowa trivia. And what I think would be cool too is if our viewers at home, I want to know how many you got right here. Okay. There's 5 questions. I want to know how many of these we got right. Okay. A little competition. Who's the most knowledgeable Iowan? Here we go. Question number 1. You have 10 seconds to write down your answers for each one of these questions. What is the Iowa state insect? The Iowa state insect. Wow. All right, pencils down, gentlemen. Tanner, you go first on this one. What do you got?
The fruit fly.
The fruit fly. No, that is not correct. No. Bart, what do you got?
The box elder bug?
The box elder bug. Unfortunately, neither of you are correct. The state insect of Iowa is, you have none. There is not a state insect of Iowa, although there was quite a bit of support for the ladybug a few years back. So there you go. No state insect. So 0 for 1 for both of you. Really know your state. Okay. Question 2. Which city in Iowa has the most crooked street in the world? The most crooked street in the world.
I'm pretty confident on this one.
Okay, that's it. No more time. Tanner, you seem real confident. You even told us you were real confident. So what do you got? Which city in Iowa has the most crooked street in the world?
I'm going with Davenport.
Davenport. That is incorrect. Sir. Incorrect.
Oh.
Bart, what do you got?
Dubuque.
Dubuque. Also incorrect. You guys know nothing about your state. So
what is it?
Burlington has the most crooked street in the world, and it is referred to as.
That's what I was thinking.
Referred to as.
No.
Snake Alley, gentlemen. Snake Alley.
I don't know.
All right.
That's made up.
Super good at this.
Definitely Davenport.
This is awesome. We're getting lots of feedback on this, I'm sure. You guys are doing a great job. Okay. Question 3. How many times have I had an Iowa roommate at a conference?
Oh,
Many times.
I think I know this one.
You thought you knew the last one too.
I think I can name the ones I'm thinking of.
Okay, Tanner, how many times have I had an Iowa?
I'm going for 2.
2. Okay, that is correct.
I think it was Chris and Eric.
You are 100% correct. Chris Amundsen and Eric Hurd. Bart, what do you got?
I said 3. I said 3.
Ooh. Sorry.
No cigar.
Way off.
Way off.
Way off. So currently
50%
Tanner is winning 1-0. All right, here we go. Question 4. What yearly convention takes place in Britt, Iowa every year? Every year this happens.
Yeah.
Britt,
You've
Iowa.
been to Britt?
I have no idea where Britt, Iowa is. I've never even heard of it, except for this little piece of
All right.
Britt, Iowa. Every single year. Every year. Yearly convention.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, people are getting bored with this. Tanner, what do you got?
All right. Something to do with wearing kilts. I don't know.
Maybe. You're not going to get even half a point.
Bagpipes.
There, I don't know.
All right.
Mr. Joe or Bart, what do you got?
I said some form of Scandinavian days.
Possibly. It is the National Hobo Convention every year in Britt, Iowa.
Wow.
I think I was wrong.
Clearly, you've never been to it. That's good, I think. Last one.
Let's do one more and then get rid of this segment.
Yeah, this is it. Last one, because you guys don't know anything about your state. What was invented by an Iowan from Davenport that completely revolutionized the food industry as we know it? Created by an Iowan from Davenport, this completely revolutionized the food industry as we know it. We're going to go with Bart on this one. He seemed extremely confident. He even slammed the pen down. Bart, what do you got?
I said peanut butter.
Oh.
Listen, I'm going to give you a half a point for that because, boy, you are close. You are super close.
So then the refrigerator is wrong.
No, I'm going to deduct half a point for that because you're not close at all. So you guys tied half a point.
Yes.
The correct answer is sliced bread. Guy.
Oh,
Sliced
wow.
bread created by an Iowan. Maybe that's why Iowa was just recently named like the greatest place to live in the United States. I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
That is
So
true.
there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we want to hear from our viewers, if any of us or any of you are watching.
They probably all hung up. Sorry, Bart.
Were you better than Tanner and Bart? Half a point each they got.
All right, let's get back on track with some different kind of inventing. Bart, you made a bunch of yard PE games recently. I know this summer I saw you were cutting those plastic buckets and making all sorts of cool stuff. And then I saw you were out in your workshop again. And can you tell us about some of your yard games you've been making for whether it's PE or just recreation?
Sure. Yeah, I guess I started a couple of summers ago, thinking we playing bags, and think that there's got to be a better way to incorporate that into my classroom without using a lot of money. So I guess I thought that the pallet route might be a good way. So I was able to get some free pallets and finagle those and put them together and add some legs. And so I have some pallets that I've used for bag targets that work I think pretty darn well. And then last summer I was able to go to Liberty City, to the Iowa Aphid Convention, and I saw Paddles Lamb presented there, and I figured what could I use that I have at home to use this, because I didn't have the funds to purchase it. I knew I had pickleball paddles. I have pickleballs, so that was pretty darn close to what I had. Then the target, I was thinking, what can I use for the target? So I have quite a few 5-gallon buckets from our local home improvement store that we have, and I thought, well, maybe I could use that. So I got kind of creative, and I don't know, just happened to have one sitting right here. I don't know the odds of that, if one would just happen to be right here. I don't know.
He's more prepared than you were, Jason.
I feel like he was tipped off that was going to be.
I don't know. Just sitting by my computer, there's a bucket. I'll cover up the logo, but so then I just took the we're blue and white, the Bulldog, so that's why we go with our local blue focused home improvement store versus the orange competitor.
Now we might get in trouble.
Uh-oh. Okay, sorry, I'll stop. So now, so basically I taking from the pallets I just bought a circular bit, and then I just used that bit and I cut the front hole into the 5-gallon bucket for my paddle slam center target, and I just have the top opening for the top. So that kind of took care of that activity. Then I thought, well, I don't really have any Can Jam stuff. So I've seen Can Jam. I want to know more about it. It looks kind of fun. I thought, well, just turn the bucket around. And I just added a Can Jam slot to the other side. So basically I've got Can Jam on one side, and I've got Paddle Slam on another side. And it's a base for an aerobic drumming ball that I use in class. So I've just killed 3 birds, 3 activities with one $3 bucket. Happy to say I've used them this year with Can Jam with Paddle Slam, and I think they work just as well as the actual equipment does. So no, that's what I've used for those. So that was a nice, easy way to add those activities into my curriculum. Also this summer, I was nice enough to get invited by Eric Hurd over for a 4th of July party, and he had a Coob set out. I'd heard about Coob, hadn't fully understood the directions, so he got out the set and he told me a kind of a modified version of it. So I thought, hey, that sounds like something I could incorporate into my students with my underhand tossing skills and things like that. Making the sets weren't too hard. I just happened to have a king right here that I made. I have basic woodworking skills. Let me get that out the door here. Basic woodworking skills. So I just have a nice king, and just have one cube there and another cube, and then we have our baton. And this was, I simply learned this from a YouTube video. I learn a lot of stuff from YouTube about making a cube set from a 4x4 that is 8 feet long. You can make an entire cube set from from an 8 foot long 4x4 piece of wood. So that's what I basically used. Interesting story, side note, if that's okay, to dovetail off this about the impact of that. This is actually, I had the next door neighbor over, and he was playing with it, or we were teaching him how to play. He goes back home and tells his dad about it, who is a avid woodworker, and they decide to make their own set. So then they learn more about it. They think it's pretty darn cool. And then I've come to find out this year, they took their set to Missouri and they taught their family about it. And then they had a cube set making competition. So
I saw that. I hope that you have the whole thing with you. Do you have it with you?
The what?
Borrow it?
No.
Like the neighbors. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I know, that would have been cool. No, they got together during Memorial Day weekend, and they all came up. There's like four brothers. Each had made a set. Like, they were too nice to play with. I mean, they were just
display
amazing.
Sets only, right?
What?
They were
Display
amazing.
Well, no, I think they actually played with them. But I mean, they had deer antler attached to them. They looked like actual Vikings. They had like axes for batons. One was made out of old barnwood, like the actual pins that were used to connect the joints in barns that they used for that. So I just thought that was really neat, that just simply showing someone the activity got them interested in it enough to make their own set, and then take it with them and inspire their family, to kind of have a competition and make it awesome.
Having an impact outside of the classroom, Bart.
Yeah, which was neat.
Look at that. Chandler, you got one more question for us before we sign off here?
Why don't you hit number 6?
Oh, you want me to go? Oh, boy.
Yeah, you get it.
Ooh, I was hoping so. Because when I saw this question, I got excited. Our writers are stepping it up a little bit. Finally getting a little humor in this show. Maybe. I don't know. Well, Tanner, you go, then Bart, and then hopefully by then I've got it figured out what I want to do. But
you need to ask a question first, though.
Top 3. I'm gonna top 3 sports movies of all time. Top 3 sports movies of all time.
All right. So when I wrote this, I figured I'd have to answer it too. So that will give you a chance to think about it. My top 3, I'm going to go Happy Gilmore, because I was an Adam Sandler man. It was about the time where I was starting to be a little bit immature, and it was perfect for me. Right. Major League. We bought the movie.
Classic.
Debating whether I want to show my kid the movie. It's been sitting in our room for a long, long, long time. Probably won't show it to him, but Major League, that's a must-have for a baseball fan. Yeah. And I think another dumb humor has got to be The Waterboy. You got to love Bobby Boucher.
Have to.
No.
Have to. Bart, what do you got?
Those are my top 3.
All right. I would have to say, agree with the Happy Gilmore, since I quoted about Daly. I'm going to go another route with Miracle.
Ooh, good one.
That was a good one. That was a very good one.
I'm going to go that route. And then one that a movie that always got me pumped up. Sorry, my wife is chirping at me from next door.
See this one. See this one. We can hear you. Is this the first episode ever where we have like a guest appearance by someone's wife? Come on.
Maybe. You want to come in?
Run now? Did she run away?
No, I just worked 48
You just worked 48 hours. Yes, you did.
Oh, yeah.
You saved 16 babies. We would say thank you for that.
Come on. Nobody watches anyway.
Real quick.
Oh, Mrs. Jones.
She went away. Okay, The Program would be my third.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Also not for the kids to watch. But, okay, so now I'm going to copy Miracle because I'm a hockey guy, so I have to. Miracle, like, I still get goosebumps and I almost cry at the end every time. I'm going to go with Rudy.
Ooh, yeah.
Rudy gets me excited every time, and I just, in fact, I started chanting Rudy we went through South Bend and on the train, and I started chanting Rudy. Apparently 4:00 in the morning is too early to start chanting Rudy on the train as you're going through there, but whatever. And then I know I'm probably going to get in trouble for this one, but it's hilarious. Dodgeball, right? I know, like, the Fayette thing, like, oh, no dodgeball. And I don't do dodgeball, but, man, that is funny, right? Like,
there's some really good parts there.
The first time I watched it, come on. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. I mean, that's, come on. So, anyways, that's my 3. Perhaps.
Did you expect us today to say Field of Dreams?
No, but I thought Field of Dreams because I've been there and I played catch. Well, I didn't play catch. We didn't have gloves. We did run the bases, though. I ran the bases at Field of Dreams with my son the day after Father's Day. So you want to talk emotional? My wife kept wondering why I was like all emotional and almost crying. And I said, have you ever seen Field of Dreams? And she said, no. So since then she's seen it and she gets it now. But So we're running out of time. Mr. Jones, Bart Jones, made it through episode 13 of season 2 of Let's Talk Phys Ed. We almost got to see Mrs. Jones, almost had a guest appearance for the first time on Let's Talk Phys Ed. We'll see, maybe next time. We really appreciate you stopping in and talking Phys Ed with us. Now's your chance. How can we get a hold of you? Tell us your YouTube channel, your website, your Twitter name. We're going to play some cheesy music, and you kind of take us on out.
All right. So easiest way to get a hold of me would be probably on Twitter, which is all lowercase, which is @exercise, EXERCYS. Got to pay homage to my Cyclones there. Got to throw that in there. YouTube channel, it's Van Meter Elementary PE. So I got to think about that for a second. Don't say that quite too often. Another easy. So those are probably so Twitter would probably be the easiest way to get a hold of me if you want to, and then we can branch off into other avenues if you want to. I just want to thank these two guys for having me on here. I'm obviously very honored and very, very blessed to be asked to be on here, and it's a great honor to be the first Iowan to be interviewed. I mean, it's great to have an Iowan as a host, but to be interviewed, and there's a lot of untapped potential here in this state. You are representing with the shirt. I do see that there, Tanner. So as Tanner knows, there's lots of great educators in the state of Iowa, and I'm sure there's lots of great educators in the state of North Dakota. You know, all three of you up there, right, Jason?
Ooh,
sorry.
low blow. Last Iowan on the show, first and last.
Yeah, first and last. It just nixed my return interview, and definitely Mr. Jones is not going to be able to make an appearance because I don't get a repeat. But no, simply, just a big, huge thank you guys. Love talking to you. Hope we can inspire somebody out there, and feel free to contact me anytime you need to.
Absolutely.
All right, Bart.
We are getting kicked off, so I appreciate you stopping by. As always, thank you, everybody. Catch us next time.
Yeah. So, thank you very much.
Yeah, you bet. You're welcome.